Alright everyone, explain Hatsune Miku to me. I've asked around, and best as I can tell, she's a hologram, an early meme icon, apparently is married to a real-life Japanese man, and created both Harry Potter and Minecraft. Also, Sega sent me a copy of the newest game featuring her, Hatsune Miku Project Diva MEGAMIX Plus. Goodness, it just rolls off the tongue. So I figured today I'd go through the history of this magical hologram lady, Sega's game series, do a review of sorts of this newest title, and give an answer to the age-old question, what's the deal with Hatsune Miku? Before we get to the heart of today's video, I'd like to mention our sponsor. This video today is brought to you in part by PCBWay.com. Take advantage of services such as CNCing, 3D printing, and of course PCB design and printing. From small orders to massive batches of PCBs, they have you and your project covered. This includes a variety of PCB designs from the ever-growing PCBWay community. Get controller adapters for a variety of retro computers, stuff for model trains, and of course custom Game Boy cartridges. Also right now, check out the PCBWay 8th anniversary celebration. Get some free coupons and discounts by checking the link in the description below. Check out PCBWay.com using the link in the description below and let them power up your next maker project today. And with that, let's get back to your regularly scheduled content. I know Miku is super popular, like seriously, ridiculously scarily popular in certain parts of the world. I cover Sonic games and this is a fan base that actively scares me. But here I was with no experience in the series and just kind of scratching my head in a corner, also wanting to find an excuse to enter into it with an open mind. So to start off, what is Hatsune Miku? Well, that in itself has two answers. Are we talking about Hatsune Miku the character or Hatsune Miku the software? Because before we got full-on anime girl concerts, we had Vocaloids. If you turn your Wikipedias to page 34, it says, Hatsune Miku, also called Miku Hatsune, and officially codenamed CV01, is a Vocaloid software voice bank developed by Krypton Future Media, and its official moe spell it out, Jamie. Anthropomorphism, a 16-year-old girl with long turquoise twin tails. And then from that page, if we click on the word Vocaloid, we'll learn that Vocaloid is a singing voice synthesizer software product. I know that's a very general description lifted literally from Wikipedia, so let me explain a little more in depth the best I can as someone who's only recently learned what the hell a Vocaloid is. Originating from a research project conducted at the University of Barcelona by student Kenmochi Hideki, and further developed thanks to backing from the Yamaha Corporation, yeah, that one, you know, the piano people, the first version of the Vocaloid software came out in 2004. Basically type in some lyrics and notes through a piano roll interface, and you'll get some computerized singing spit back out at you. This is an incredibly simplified version of what it does. Vocaloid software can be used to generate some truly unique sounding music. It's easy to see how this alone could become hugely popular, along with a variety of Japanese musical groups notably using Vocaloid quote-unquote singing for their songs. The software and its sounds have found their way around the globe. This Katamari remix that GameChops put out is easily one of my favorite uses of the software, by the way. I don't know what it is about the Vocaloid singing here, but it just soothes my soul. For those curious, this is the type of music I listen to while running errands. Hatsune Miku herself, or rather in this case, itself, is a voice bank released in 2007 based on the Vocaloid 2 technology. A voice bank is basically just a different sounding virtual singer that uses the Vocaloid technology. Yamaha has even gone so far as to market them as, and I quote, singers in a box. Miku the character, though, has become so much more than just a marketing tool. Her creators at Japanese company Krypton Future Media gave her an entire merchandising campaign and a cute anime-esque design, oh, and even a backstory. Hatsune Miku, the character, apparently comes from a dystopian near-future Japan where music as we know it has died. So it's up to her and her Vocaloid pals and their hologrammy goodness to pull a Daft Punk and give life back to music. From here on out, I need to clarify how I'll be using the term Vocaloid. We're going to be focused on Miku, the character who appears in video games and such, and her type of hologram is called a Vocaloid. But this isn't to be confused with the software, Vocaloid. Got it? Not confused? Good. Miku, despite being the most famous of the Vocaloids, was not the first. Krypton worked alongside Yamaha, previously developed two before her. These were Meiko, a red-clothed girl, and Kato, who is the token dude. These characters were part of their character vocal series, and were immediately a huge hit. By the end of 2007, the same year that Hatsune Miku herself launched, Miku had become one of the best-selling pieces of vocal software of all time in Japan. And with that success came merchandising. Lots and lots and lots of merchandising. Coin banks, hoodies, a dedicated ramen shop, body pillows, which, by the way, remember, she may be a hologram, but she's also fucking 16. She's appeared on race cars, on public transportation, and in 2012 even started getting really big in America. I mean, damn, she even ended up opening for Lady Gaga. Now, I'd like to circle back to a comment I made earlier in the video. I've talked about Sonic on YouTube a lot. I mean, literally the last video before this one was on Sonic Origins. I know Sonic fans often get a rep for being a bit much, but Hatsune Miku fans are a whole other level. Fans in South Korea bought ad space in the subway station to celebrate her 10th anniversary. Yeah, this whole display right here, that's not official. That was done by fans. Also, a Japanese man tried to marry her. There's even an official world concert tour. It regularly sells gangbusters. This is a fictional hologram lady based on a piece of vocal composition software. Also, going back to Sonic for a sec, here's Miku and Sonic together. And here's Miku in Space Channel 5 VR. This is me trying to segue into talking about Sega's line of Hatsune Miku games. These respectively are the Project Diva and Project Mirai series, which fittingly enough are rhythm games. Now, I first discovered this series through Hatsune Miku Project Diva Arcade at my local Round 1. Have you ever been to one of these places? They have bowling and karaoke and a bunch of Japanese import games. Apparently they're all around North America. It's where I go to satisfy my maximum tune cravings. I didn't get to play much Project Diva though. This is one of those machines that always manages to have a line. So even though Miku translates really well to the arcade, this arcade game was not the first game in the series. It was predated by Hatsune Miku Project Diva for the PSP. The premise is simple. Choose one of several songs which play a music video featuring Miku or one of the other Vocaloids as they sing. Button and direction input prompts will flash while you play, and you have to match them as best you can to try to earn a high score. If you make too many mistakes in a song, you will get a game over, and you will be faced with complete and utter dejection and disappointment. It sounds simple, and at first, it feels simple too. Anyways, here's what the higher difficulties look like. Yeah, if you let it, this game will not hesitate to punch you in the throat and then laugh at you. And despite just how insanely difficult some of these tunes can get, it's really addicting. Perhaps that, along with the mass appeal of Vocaloids, is why we've gotten so many of these games. The original Project Diva later got a port to the PS3, and that was followed up by a sequel in 2010. Hatsune Miku Project Diva F came out in 2012 for my poor, sweet, forgotten child, the PS Vita. And then that was also followed by a PS3 port the following year. And then that got a sequel of its own in 2014. For Miku's 8th anniversary, we got Project Diva X in 2016 for the PS4 and, mercifully, the Vita as well. Oh Vita, you deserve so much better. Then that same year, a port of the arcade game also came out for PS4, that being Hatsune Miku Project Diva Future Tone. 5 different DLC packs have come out for that one in the years since, the most recent being released in October 2020. There have also been the 2 Project Mirai games for the 3DS, which are still rhythm games but operate a bit differently than their beefier counterparts on other systems. The art style here is also based on those Nendoroid figures you tend to see in nerd culture shops. I'd go into more details here, except I've never actually played these two. As such as well, this gameplay is being pulled from a Creative Commons attributed YouTube video. You're welcome. This brings us to the most recent game in the series. Hatsune Miku Project Diva MEGAMIX was originally released for the Nintendo Switch in 2019 to celebrate Miku's 10th anniversary. Compared to the other games, the art style here has a bit more of a cel-shaded look, but I mean, honestly I rather like it, it's charming. The game I was sent for today is the upgraded Steam port of that Switch game. Released in May 2022, which at the making of this video was literally last month, this is Hatsune Miku Project Diva MEGAMIX Plus. wow. A massive song list, character customization, an active modding community. You can even switch between the cel-shaded art style from the Switch version, the more traditional art style found in Future Tone. Now, I don't know if this will get me a lot of flack or not, but I found myself really preferring to play this one using my keyboard instead of a more traditional controller. Something about clicky mechanical keys in rhythm games always meshes really well for me. And while I'm definitely no master of the genre, I feel like I've played my fair share of rhythm games. Audio Surf, Elite Beat Agents, can't forget Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy. This genre has always been a comforting place for me, and Project Diva MEGAMIX is no exception, even if it feels like it's out to kill me on the higher difficulties. All the music videos here are so varied and cool as well. Gothic horror, space exploration, references to classic Sega games like Outrun and Afterburner. Actually, on that note, there's even a Space Channel 5 outfit for Miku here. That's really cool. The graphics are gorgeous, and there's a variety of Vocaloids on hand starring their own vids. My favorite is honestly Kato. I really love his voice. What an angel. And wow, the choreography in some of these is wild. And there are over 100 of them here. If you don't want to play through them, you can even make video playlists to watch or listen to. Also, some of these song titles are beautifully nonsensical. If there's one thing I can absolutely appreciate, it's some questionable English. Lol, lots of love. Gothic and loneliness, I'm the very diva. Let me lose myself in the black note. Oh, and we can't forget my favorite, Sadistic Music Factory. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten the various meme songs that have come from the Project Diva games. Remember Nancat? Miku. And the leak spin? That absolute relic of a meme dating back to 2007? Yup, also Miku. Fuck, I feel old. And when you get into the songs in-game, especially on hard mode and above, the game really does test your reflexes. You want to build your combos, you want to keep coming back to try to beat your high scores. I've heard complaints that when compared to some previous releases, especially with DLC combined, there maybe isn't enough here to bring in longtime fans, especially if they already own the Switch version. And I mean, valid. But that's a critique from friends who've actually played these games before. It also already has a DLC pack out, and I mean, really? Already? Sega, what is with you and Day 1 DLC? Just kind of seems greedy. For me as a first timer though, Project Diva MEGAMIX Plus is really fantastic. Worth $40 for the base game? That's for you to decide, but seeing as it's on Steam and knowing how Sega is, it's probably only a matter of time before it goes on sale. So I guess it's time to answer the burning question I've been trying to tackle this past week. What's the deal with Hatsune Miku? I mean, the fan base can be intimidating, but she herself is just a hologram girl based on some pretty cool software. While there's definitely a lot to the story of Project Diva, and I could probably definitely dive in deeper sometime, it's definitely not the weirdest story I've ever heard for a highly marketable Japanese property. Looking at you, Pokemon! As for the games, if this series seems fun to you, maybe hop into this newest release. As a series newcomer, I felt like I eased into it really well, thanks in part to a really handy included tutorial. While I don't think researching this video has turned me into a diehard fan or anything, I've definitely gained some respect for this series. I've found a set of characters that I find to be charming, with games that are solidly fun to boot. So tell me, did you enjoy this video? If you didn't know what the hell a Vocaloid is, did I help go through that a bit? Did we go on this learning adventure together, dear viewer? If I did a good job, then maybe drop me a tip via super thanks or get some extra content and access to my Discord server by becoming a Patreon patron or YouTube channel member. I field a lot of video suggestions from there and even do game nights and editing streams in there, so definitely think about it. I'd also like to announce that after a bit of a hiatus, due in part to moving house and getting surgeries and such, the Speedrun podcast will finally be coming back soon with new episodes every Friday starting in July. Listen to my friend Jazzy and I discuss video game topics in a time setting of episodes averaging under 15 minutes over on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, really anywhere you can find podcasts, including our website over at speedrun.podbean.com. So on that note, thank you very much for watching, stay classy, and I'll see you next time.